Hey, how you guys doing? Welcome back. In this particular video, we're gonna dive real deep. Well, and if you don't understand what's really going on by the end of this video, then I'm not for sure what I can do to properly illustrate that point for you. It will be beyond my personal ability to help you understand what's going on, so that I would admit defeat and I would move on, me personally, because there's nothing more I can do to help illustrate what's really going on. And a lot of us guys, we get caught up in the insignificant information out there. That is very, there's a whole lot of insignificant information out there, and not many of us. There are some of us that touch on this particular topic, so I'm going to cover today, but not that many. We are being, well, overwhelmed with all type of insignificant information. And it seemed to me that some of us are stuck on an infantile way of looking at the world. We just can't seem to mature to the level where we can actually grasp the information. You're stuck in information overload, and not all information is good information. A lot of information is going to actually retard your growth. You know, you pack your mind up with all this stuff, but it's really not working to empower you. It's not helping towards your growth. Like I said, it keeps the people who feed you that type of information, keeps them in them. And make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, I can take these videos as deep if you want me to go, but it'll leave some of you guys in a coma. And what good would that do? I'm trying to wake you up, not leave you comatose. It's hard enough for me to even try to wake you up as it is. That's why I don't use too many big words in my video. That's why I define the words and I read it out to you. Not saying you don't know it. For those of you that do, fine. But there's a lot of us who don't know something and would never say they don't know. They'll pretend they know. That's why I said I never lost my childlike instincts about me, because children would ask questions until they get it. Adults, we're going to bluff. I can't tell you how many times you go somewhere, you go to a convention, or even when I was in college, people pretending to know they know. The professor up there explaining the harder way. Get done with it. They're going to ask you, you understand what he said? Yeah, weren't you paying attention? Yeah, man, but I didn't want to ask no questions. I didn't want to look dumb. The same thing when you go to a convention. It's the same type of mindset. You go to a convention where you're spending your money. So when it's time to ask a question to somebody, you don't ask, no, I ain't going to ask a question. I don't want to look stupid. A child, that never crosses a child's mind. They're always going to ask a question. If anybody has any children or been around children, you know they're going to ask you 1,001 questions and keep asking until they are satisfied. Not you are satisfied, until they are satisfied. Where did that childlike entity go for some of you guys? Where did it go? Where being ignorant is the new cool. In fact, the more stupider you are, the cooler you are. In the society, they put you on TV. You see all them damn reality shows. They don't put anybody intelligent on those shows. You ever wonder why? Or even if they're intelligent, maybe they're playing a part of being ignorant, rambunctious. You know, always wanting to fight all the time. You ever ask yourself, why? Again, this is not what this conversation is about. Just giving you a little bit of extra information. You know, I'm always trying out extra stuff. Just giving it away. Take it. Do whatever you want to do with it. Let me ask you, how many of you remember the story of companies forcing Arctic fish DNA into tomatoes? You see, some people say it didn't exist. According to this article by the Huffington Post, it says it actually did exist. It says scientists really did create those Franken tomatoes, but they were never put on the market. Breyer's low-fat ice cream, however, does contain antifreeze proteins from Arctic fish genes, but that's another story. Now, the tomatoes they actually did create and put in the market was a tomato called, I guess, the Flavor Savo, engineered for longer shelf life. That's strange. Anytime you see anything that has a ridiculously long shelf life, you know has been modified some way, some form. Even your bread, your potato chips, all that stuff, your cornflakes. Naturally, it doesn't last that long. What they do with some of the food in particular, like the bread and so forth, they remove the fibers from the bread so they can have a longer shelf life. That's where you have people, a big problem in America and some of these other developing worlds are, and so-called modernized worlds, are constipation. Constipation is a huge problem. So that's what I'm sure you've seen one or two different fiber pills on the market advertising for to when you need to go. Banner fiber comes to my mind, and many other different fiber pills, because they remove the fiber from the food. So now you have a problem. But you see, in a capitalist society, everything's for sale. But you don't really understand what that means. You see, you're in a consumer economy, but you're still not fully connecting the dots yet. But that's not what this particular talk is about. So I'm gonna stay on topic. So I'm going somewhere with this particular topic, because it's not that I'm just talking about fish and tomato genes. No. I'm trying to show you something. Trust what I'm saying. But by the time I get to where I'm going, you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. Why would a company patent seeds? It's a question you should be asking yourself. But again, this is the kind of conversations we don't have, because we're still in an infantile way of looking at the world. You have to look outside your comfort zone, and you're going to have to get the information from other people other people who don't look like you, to put it simply. Because I know some of you guys got this type of ideology. If it comes from somebody other than an African person, you don't want to hear it. That's not the right way to look at life. Get the information, no matter who you get it from, just get it. But why would someone patent seeds? It's a question I'm asking to you. I'm moving in a different direction, where I would no longer spell everything out for you. For those of you that understand what I'm saying, cool. Or those of you don't, well, you still have some more work to do. These are questions you should be asking yourself. Why? The information is right here. Read it for yourself. Here you have a list of your genetically modified foods. Some genetically modified foods. You have corn, soybeans, sugar beets, potatoes. You also have your tomatoes and other stuff along the lines of that. Trust me, this video is not primarily about GMO foods. Trust me, it gets a lot deeper than that. I'm just laying the groundwork, kind of setting the foundation to show you the difference in how we think and how some other people think. How all the information you're gathering right now is really superfluous to your needs. And at some point, you're going to have to be honest with yourself. At some point, I'm not saying be honest with me or your friends. I'm saying be honest with yourself. You're with yourself 24 hours a day, from the time you're born until the time you're dead. So you should be honest with at least that one person. If not anyone else, that one person, being yourself. Here we got some more genetically modified foods. Salmons, golden rice, orals, squash. So there's a whole list of stuff that's genetically modified. It's just a little tip of the iceberg. But of course, you have your sugars, high fructose corn syrup. That the name tells you already, corn syrup. Well, I already told you that there are genetically modified corn. So corn syrup, that goes without saying. Nevertheless, you got a whole list of other stuff. The list is extensive. When I told you all in the video before I eat genetically modified foods, you might think, well, I don't eat any genetically modified foods. If you live in America, you do. I hate to tell you that, but the truth is you do. Because in America, they work really hard at not labeling anything. You don't have to take my word for it. Just go to any grocery store and look it up for yourself. If you think I'm kidding. You see, this is the kind of conversations we don't have on what effect is the food having on you. If it has been genetically modified, what effect is it having on you? Again, another question I'm asking you. You don't have to answer me. You don't have to even comment. Sooner or later, you're going to have to be honest to yourself. I would hope so, at least. Now I'm going to read this part right here. You see what it says, however? Okay. However, you're most likely to find GMOs hiding in the ingredients listed on processed foods. In 2014, 93% of the corn and 94% of the soybean acres in the United States were GMO'd. Let me read it again. In 2014, 93% of the corn and 94% of the soybean acres in the United States were GMO. That's astonishing. How many products are derived from corn and soybeans? You need to do your homework. I'm not going to break everything down. Like I said, you need to do your homework on that. So they're talking about high fructose corn syrup, because it comes from corn, the sugar made from sugar beets, to chemicals made from soybeans are used as additives in processed foods. And a lot of us eat processed foods. And you could try to lie as much as you want, but I mean, if you're telling the truth, that's the most important thing. If you're telling the truth, you'll see what I'm saying is accurate. Additives including cornstarch, cornmeal, corn syrup, glucose, dextrose, canola oil, cottonseed oil. I gotta stop there for a second. Why are we eating anything that comes from a cotton plant? Since when has cotton become a food? I'm just a side note. Anyway, moving on. Soy oil, soy flour, soy lecithin, and protein extracts. But you're telling me you don't eat GMOs, right? I can tell you, if you live in America, you're fooling yourself when you say you think you don't eat GMOs. But unbeknownst to you, what I just read from 2014, you said 93 and 94%. That's astonishing. So if you live in America, you eat GMO foods unless you plant your own foods. And that's an option. It's a very good option. Again, I pose a question. If you're eating genetically modified foods, what is it doing to you? I'm not going to answer that question for you. You're going to have to answer that question for yourself. You see, I know we focus a lot in this society because we're in a rat race and because we have been socially engineered to function the way we're functioned, always focus on attaining money. I understand that. But let me ask you this question. What good would all the money be in the world if you don't have health? So if you can't enjoy the money because your body is debilitated, what good is the money? I mean, you can do it for your family so they might enjoy it, but you personally wouldn't enjoy it. Let me tell you, if you get, God forbid, you're hit with a life-debilitating disease like cancer, all that money you have, sooner or later, you would spend it to try to save your life. So you might not plan to be sick, but the foods we consume on a daily basis almost guarantee that we will be sick. But I know you don't have to take what I'm saying as any type of information. Do your own research, or you can just say, to hell with it, F me. Like some other gentleman came on my page and proceeded to actually insult me. Listen, fellow, you and I are not in the same plane of existence at all. Your level of understanding, my level of understanding is vastly different, starkly different. In fact, I'll pass you the baton and you'll run in the next direction. I ask you, where you going? I'm going to the finish line. I said, no, fool, that's the starting line. The finish line is the next direction, fool. So your level of understanding is just starkly different. And I can tell the way you talk, or at least in your response to my last video, that, I think the one before, I think it was, that your level of understanding is quite limited just by the words you use. You see, you can tell a lot by a person just by the words, just by how they conversate, just by how they converse, converse. Some people can't even have a dialogue. Every other word is MF this, BN that, you know how you talk. And you wonder why people judge us before they even get to know us. Just gotta hear some of you talk like, oh, yep, we already know what they're gonna say. We already know what they like. We've seen it all before. So before you try to come and insult someone, take some time to learn something. Because I'm pretty sure you don't know much. And judging by the kind of character you are, I'm pretty sure you surround yourself by a bunch of people who don't know much either. But hey, that's not what the video is about. I just want to address that because I know I see a lot of this kind of stuff lately where people don't agree with you and they come out and want to attack you verbally as if that's going to affect me. As you see by my response, I don't have to curse you out to respond to you. I respond intellectually. But maybe that's a problem. Maybe you can't understand my insult because my insult is a bit too intellectual for you. So maybe I need to dumb it down some, but I can't do it. That's not my speed. But back on the video. Why is it so important to eat proper nutrition? Because the body can heal itself from any disease if given proper nutrition. That's a fact. The body can heal itself from any disease if it's given the proper nutrition. Your body's an amazing, amazing, amazing thing. You just don't understand it to its fullest capacity yet. For instance, when you fall and you scrape your leg or something, where does the healing come? From the band-aid? No, it comes from inside the body. It creates a shield to stop the blood from flowing. See, something inside the body allows the body to clog to stop the blood from flowing. It has to form blood clots. Yeah, I know some people out there can't do it. I understand, but I'm talking for the average person. When we fall, after a period of time, the body stops bleeding. It sends some blood clots up there, some platelets. I don't want to get too technical, but you know what I'm saying. To stop and start to repair itself. The body's amazing, but you gotta give it the proper nutrition. And the food we consume today is not doing it. So that's why you have to buy all these different additives, the fiber pills, the vitamins, and so forth. When my grandparents were growing up, they didn't need to consume those stuff because it was already in the food. But we don't seem to connect the dots because we are in a state of normalcy. It's normal to take fiber pills. It's normal to take vitamins. It's normal to take pills to strengthen up your bones and stuff. But we don't think. Why is it normal? Why doesn't the wild animals have to take those type of things to survive? Why? You don't ask these questions because you are the most intelligent species. Of course, that's what they say. Humans are the most intelligent species. So you don't ask these kind of questions because you allow someone to tell you the answers and you run with it. It's like many of us have a brain, but we're afraid to use it. I am not certain why. I haven't figured that out yet. If somebody knows, please tell me in the comments why it is that modern day humans don't like to think for themselves. Is it they're afraid to be ostracized? Maybe. Maybe they don't want to be alone. Maybe. Or maybe they don't know how to think. Maybe. I don't know. I'm lost. Because when I see people, grown adults, and I see small people, children, I see a stark difference. I see what happens when a child first comes into the world, and I see what happens when the child begins to leave out the world. By the time they leave out the world, as a grown-up or as an elder, they have been beaten down and indoctrinated so many times along the way, that they lose sight of who they were to begin with. They almost changed who they are. But I know this is not what this video is about, and sorry for straying off a little bit. But I'm still dealing with food because food changes who you are. We all heard the saying, you are what you eat. But do y'all really comprehend what it means? Again, I keep hearing people say things, but I wonder to myself, do they comprehend what they're saying? Because if you are what you eat, why you continue to eat bad food? Nobody wants to answer that question. That's an uncomfortable question. Because now I force you to have to look within the mirror. And that's something many of us don't want to do. I know it's hard. But at some point, like I stated before, you're going to have to be honest with yourself. Not with me, but with yourself. Now, what you're seeing here is a pizzly. What is a pizzly, you might ask? Well, it's a cross between a grizzly and a polar bear. This is a natural hybrid. This happens naturally in the wild. Now, it's quite astonishing, right? Some of the photos I'm going to show you now, some are actually hybrids that are made. That's right, made. They have taken the genes from one animal and placed it in the embryo of another animal. That's the level of thinking some people are on. But while we continue to argue about whose philosophy is the best, which religious ideology we want to embrace, whether or not the pyramids, what the pyramids mean, all these old texts and so forth, this is the level of thinking some people are already on. This is the Beefalo. Look it up. A beefalo. I'm not making these names up. These are real animals, hybrids. The names are there. If you think I'm BSing, look it up. Put it in your search window. You know how to search. I don't have to tell you how to search. You know how to do that. Okay? While we argue about useless data, some people on a whole nother level of thinking. They're on a cellular level. Do you understand what I'm saying? A cellular level of thinking. And we still here just talking and talking. They talk and they do. This is a Wholphin, a cross between a killer whale and a dolphin. Look it up. You can see how it was done. So I'm not going to tell you who made what. You look it up yourself. So while we continue, I want to drum that point home because some of you might not even know these animals exist. That's right, they exist. These are, like I said, these are real animals. I'm not making this stuff up. I have better things to do than make stuff up. Okay? But for some reason, we don't seem to understand what's going on in this world. I keep saying y'all wasting time focusing on stuff that, okay, it happened. Great. How can you use that to build on your life today? How can you use that? Belgian mutant trout created more muscle, more meat. So now they have this concept of double meat. I'm sorry, double muscle. That's what they're working on. So again, they're on a cellular level while we here talking about old history points and looking for different aliens and whatnot and spaceships and coming to get you and coming to save you and stuff. I mean, I wondered to myself, do you guys see the same thing I'm seeing? Are you reading the same articles I'm reading? Do you see there's a stark difference between the way how we perceive information, the way we look at information versus the way other people's actually utilizing the information? And how far ahead in the thinking some people are compared to how we are? Just like we are, like I said, infantile. This is what you call a double muscle rat. The one on the right hand side, of course, you can see naturally way bigger than the one on the left hand side. Well, the one on the left hand, the right hand side has double muscle. They isolated the genes. You need to look it up. I don't want to tell you too much. Look it up for yourself so you can see. Well, it's not me saying it. I want you to do some homework if you choose to find out and look it up. So I think it's better that way when you see it for yourself and you look it up. You say, okay, well, you know, he's not lying. He's telling the truth. And wait till you see the next monstrosity that I'm going to show you right now. You say, wow, yeah, this is the level they're on. I keep saying this is the level that some people are on. This is what you call a Belgian Blue. Look at the muscles on this thing. This is supposed to be a cow. Of course, they shaved it down and everything so you can see more of the muscles and so forth. But look at the muscles. Again, double muscles, more meat. They say that they're doing it this way so that way it can help feed some of the Earth's population because the population is growing to be so big. So they want to have a way to feed the people. At least that's what they say it's for. We're talking about genetics. Again, I'm going to keep stressing it. Some people on a cellular level of thinking while we are still here thinking, talking. Nothing more than Rhodamante. And Rhodamante only means vain and boastful. That's all it means. Look it up. Rhodamante. That's all we're doing. We were the first man. Okay, that's great. We created that. Okay, that's great. But what are we doing now? We're reflecting on what we used to do. And for those of you that might believe that it stopped with the animals and the plants and the food, oh no. Genetically modified babies. You think it's going to stop with the plants and the food and the animals? Come on, you know better. You should know better than that. If you're thinking. You see, when I first started the video, you understand what I mean when I get to what I mean. When I get to this location we're at right now in the video. This is what I'm talking about. Where is your brain at? What are you focusing on? And for those of you that don't know any of this information I'm showing you now, you got a lot of work to do. But you cannot be in two places at once. Like they say I think it was the Bible. You can't serve two masters at the same time. You really can't. So either you're going to give up some of the stuff you're studying now and trying to focus on some of the other stuff that I show you in this video, which you don't have to. Like I said, I'm the intellectual farmer. I just plant the seeds. What you do with it is up to you. Sure, you don't have to take anything I'm saying as gospel, as they would say. You can do whatever you want to do. It's up to you. It's your life. You can live it. But this is some of the things I wanted to share, because this is what's happening. While some of us are steady jaw-jacking, this is what's happening right now. And only God knows, or the Creator, if you believe in that, it's fine. If you don't, cool. Only they know what they're planning next. We will have to react to the information, so we'll have to be a reactionary, because we don't know. Because we don't think on that level, it seems like. There might be a small amount of us that do. But for the most part, we are quite entertained and content with useless debates, useless talking points, useless topics that do absolutely nothing to change the current paradigm from what it is now. But it seems to me that you're content. You're quite content. So I can see why you continue to do what you do, because it became comfortable. That's what it is, comfort. I get it. Now I get it. So that's why we have the results we have. With all the information we have at our fingertips, look what we choose to focus on. I'm showing you how other people are thinking, how other people are working. I know there are some members of other races who aren't doing that. I understand that. Because I know some of us always say, well, some people do it too. I don't give a damn what other people are doing. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you quite content eating GMO foods? What legacy will you leave behind for your offspring, if you have any? What guidance will you give them? These are questions you should ask yourself. These are questions I always ask myself. You see, I can't really entertain the fact that I'm here to save anyone. Like I already told you, I am no savior. I am no messiah. I have no people. I can just provide information. What you do is up to you. If I'm laying out some of the traps for you, and these traps can be all kind of things. It's not just one particular field. That's what I keep saying. We're in a very perplexing quagmire. If I'm laying out the traps, if I'm telling you, hey man, there's a minefield over there. You don't want to go that direction. You say, ah, the hell with it, man. You don't know what you're talking about. I said, no, man, you don't want to go there. There's a live minefield right there. It has a sign posted right there. Man, I don't want to hear what you guys say, man. You damn coon. You know how you guys talk. Just shut the F up, man. Nobody want to hear what you got to say. Okay, cool. Am I supposed to feel sorry when you walk in the minefield? Am I supposed to render aid if you still survive after you step on the mine? The answer is, for me personally, is hell no. I'm not going to do it. I told you, hey, there was a minefield right there. You choose to go out. I showed you the sign. You called me names. You insulted me. Okay, cool. Good luck to you. So now you're on the floor begging for help. Hey, good luck to you, man. I don't want to hear it. I should do the same thing you do to me, right? Isn't that what the good book said? Didn't the book say, do unto others as you have them do unto you? Isn't that what the book said? There is no cure for stupidity. No cure. And the person has to realize that there are shortcomings. Again, if I show you a line, man, I'm showing you, look, please don't go over there. There's a sign posted right there. It says there's a live minefield. Please don't go there. And you disregard and cuss me out and all kind of stuff. I cannot feel any empathy for you. I have to harden my heart and realize that that'll be a casualty. You will have to be a casualty for the rest to say, hey, see, don't go that direction because there's a landmine, right? There's a live minefield right there. See the signs posted? See what happened to old Tyrone over there? You don't want to go to that field. You will have to be a casualty. And unfortunately, some of us will have to be a casualty. Because some of us, I don't care how much time you spend talking and talking and talking and talking and pleading and begging, we just won't do anything different unless we're forced to. And like I stated before in another video, that's why you have a lot of these people in your conscious community who are ex-felons, because no matter how many times somebody might spend talking to them, they didn't understand until they were forced to understand. You see this photograph in the background? It's a tree that grew over a rock. The tree could have decided, man, I'm not going to be able to grow because there's a rock here. I'm just going to stop growing. I'm going to stop surviving. But the tree did what it was supposed to do, instinctively survived. It did whatever it had to do to survive. You can see the fruits right there. You can see it. The roots all around the rock. But the tree is still alive. How many of us have that type of determination? That's a question I'm asking to you. This is the mango seed. From that one seed, a great tree is produced from one seed. Produces a big tree like this, able to produce many other mangoes with many other seeds, able to reproduce itself. The DNA from one mango seed produce countless other mango seeds. This is a process called air layering. But I'm showing you this for a reason. Many other people are using other techniques to grow food, where roughly what it is you're taking an existing tree and you're actually cloning the next tree. So what you're doing is cloning an existing tree that's already bearing fruit, like what you see right here. They cloned an existing mango tree that was already bearing fruit and they planted it again. So they cloned the tree. So now this tree is able to bear mangoes at such a young age. But really it's not really young because it's off of another tree. So it doesn't have to grow as big and tall to bear fruit. See, people are finding other ways to survive, other ways to grow food, while we still continue to have these same old tired arguments. I want to drum that point home for a reason. Okay, I'm not doing it to be an asshole. I'm doing it to get you to think, to actually provoke thought. Because if I said it in a comedic way, you'd be laughing, oh yeah, but did you get the message? Many comedians tried. Richard Pryor was one of them who tried. But many times, we laugh and we don't get the message because it's coming from a comedian. Like I said, he's not the only one. There are many other comedians out there that actually did their best to convey a point. Eddie Griffin's another one. And I can't think of all of them right now, but they try their best to convey points, but a lot of times they get lost because people are just laughing. Again, I don't mean to be hard all the time, but I have to do my best to convey a point. And the point is, you don't have no time to waste. You have to get serious. Time will not wait for you. That's a fact. That is a reality. Whether you face it or not is irrelevant. That's a fact. Listen, you have all the tools you already need. You have read the books. You have watched the documentaries. You have listened to the lectures. All that's required right now is for you to act on the information that you already have. There is no need to attain any more information because at a certain point it will become redundant. You have to have the courage and the understanding that you hold the key to your own success or your own failure. Will you make mistakes along the way? Of course you will. We all will. But that's all part of learning. It's all part of the journey. I also want to say, be true to yourself. Stop looking to people for guidance or stop deifying other human beings. Stop falling in love with personalities. They are human beings just like you. They have a brain just like you. The only difference is they choose to use their brains, and in some cases, some of you guys don't choose to use it at all. Your brain is screaming out, saying, use me, please, for the love of God or whatever you believe in, please use me. And for some of you guys, the last time you used your brains, well, was pretty much when you were a child. That was the last time you were actually creative. You had imagination. You had no boundaries placed upon you. And for some reason, for some of y'all allow society, your social environment, social engineering, to dictate what you can and can't do. So you look to other people to tell you what you can and can't do. See, the photo I showed you before earlier with the tree is to symbolize that no one told the tree it couldn't grow over the rock. The tree did what it felt it had to do to survive. No one needed to tell the tree anything. Or no one tells the animals anything. They do everything they have to do every day, the same thing, without being told. You see, without getting too deep, some of y'all believe in the stuff you fantasize about. Because you study it doesn't mean it's real. For instance, the days of the week, they don't exist. Quite literally, they don't exist. There's no such thing as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They don't exist. If you don't believe me, study the animals. They do the same thing every day without fail. Unless it's raining or snowing or something like that. They do the same thing. The same thing I can say for people who some people might call uncivilized people. They do the same things every day because the days of the weeks are a man-made construct. They don't exist. Here's a question. If humans weren't around to keep track of time, would time still exist? Just a question. See, that's how my mind works. I'm always asking questions because I'm always trying to learn. What I'm showing you is the fact that these trees and nature actually reclaimed all this stuff. So every day you're alive, like I said, it's one day closer to death, but it's also every day in these so-called civilized societies and houses and so forth, it's every day you're there, you're fighting against nature, and sooner or later you're going to lose that battle. That's a fact. Nature has a way of always taking it back. But at the end of the video, I actually put a little something extra in the video to hopefully help you relax, and I hope it helps you relax and get rid of some of the stress you have. It's another side of me. It's another channel I actually have. So if you'll be so kind to support that channel, I really appreciate it. But like I said, I'm going to take a break away from this channel because producing these type of videos are very time consuming, spiritually draining. And really, I just need to take a short break from this and refocus my energies. So thank you guys very much. It has been my honor and my pleasure. And until next time we speak, you guys take it easy and Godspeed. I'm out.